Suddenly snooker was sexy. Forget skateboards, forget swing ball. The must-have kids accessory of the 80s was a snooker table.
In the 80s, snooker was the #1 sport.
The whole games, the image of the game became uplifted. More and more people wanted to play. Suddenly there were hundreds of new snooker halls opening because everyone trying to cash in on this boom, and it went from there.
So this is now a vital moment in this year's World Professional Snooker Championship final.
Has anybody got 10p?
And what a disastrous stroke. And the referee's none too pleased either.
I bet he drinks Carling Black Label.
Just about every kid had a Steve Davis snooker table from somewhere.
It's every player's dream to make a complete clearance, and to show you just how good I think this top black table really is, I'm going to try and do just that.
Because we sold millions of it.
Take a look at all this, everything...
Barry Hearn's matchroom organisation even moved into the bedroom.
It's a snooker table duvet cover.
We had some sad products. How we got involved with a matchroom aftershave, I'll never know.
When you play to win, you need to keep cool.
It didn't make an impact. It didn't take any business off higher karate.
The players each chose which scent they were going to wear.
We had different sample bottles, A, B, C, D. We'd narrowed it down to 4. So there was me and Tony Mio going down in the lift in the morning, and me going to him, what have you got on today? And he'd say, I've got B on. I'd say, oh, I've got A, have a smell of that. There's people like, what the hell's going on here?
Whatever game you play, play to win.
The same scent as Steve Davis. Wouldn't you rather just, like, cover yourself in feces? Because you'd have more chance of copping off, wouldn't you?
There was also the matchroom slippers, which I think were a big hit.
If the aftershaves worked, the next thing you want, you know, it's not underwear. Let's draw attention to my feet.
The players now had the unmistakable whiff of rock and roll in their nostrils.
You like snooker, you'll be familiar with this. Chaz and Dave and the Matchroom Mob.
Snooker Loopy, eh? What a song that was, huh?
Snooker Loopy.
Dreadful.
Snooker Loopy, that's all we, me and him and them and me.
We'll show you what we can do with a load of balls and a snooker cue.
Off the rest end, screw back for
yellow, green, brown, blue, pink and black.
Pink and black.
A lot of people learning snooker will never forget that line. You know, so what's the order? Oh, pink, yellow, green, brown, blue, pink and black.
A typical Barry Hearn project.
Barry Hearn rang our manager and said, I'd love the boys to write a snooker song.
He likes country and western. What chance has he got of judging a good song?
And they wrote this, I think, a nice little number.
We're all snooker loopy.
I got a phone call. Here, Steve, I've got this great song. We're going to be pop stars.
Terry the Taff was born in a gap in the valleys of the lane of song.
But the boys had their arms twisted and said, no, we're going to make a record. And it was a bit naff, oh, we don't want to make a record.
I kept saying, yeah, but we can't sing. Oh, don't worry about that.
Hairbrushes for me bonnet.
So he's gone, it's great, it's a great song. I'm thinking, oh yeah, of course it is. We're going to record it, then we're going to do a video, and it's going to be fantastic, and we'll be on top of the pops. So I'm thinking, oh, don't go there, please don't go there. It's going to be the most embarrassing thing you've ever done in your life. A tape whizzes through, and I listened to this record, and it was only a demo of it. And I've got to be honest, I thought, blimey, that's catchy. And we went in the recording studio.
And everybody had a line, so everybody was happy.
What was my line?
Because he had them upside down glasses, didn't he? So it had to go in it, didn't it?
How the old mind boggles. Nowadays he pots the lot. Because I wear those goggles.
Because I wear these goggles.
Always his goggles.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Me and him and them and me.
Go into your local school, pick up your kids, and you can actually hear kids singing it as they come out of the school.
And before long, it got in the charts.
Number 6.
That's our way, we're all snooker.
But I was on top of the pops. I'm famous.
We're all snooker today.
We then got delusions. We thought we were the dogs. So all of a sudden, we bring out the follow-up.
Called the Romford Rap.
Whether you're a Paddy or a Tappy or a Jump or a Jeff.
That didn't get anywhere in the charts.
Yellow, green, brown, blue, pink.
Died a death. We don't mention that at all.
From Brixton Bow on north of the Watford Gap.
Bombed.
You can do the Romford Rap.
It's not only footballers that do really crappy songs, is it?
Snooker's colourful set of characters compelled millions of viewers to tune into the sport.
I think snooker at that time, you know, television and snooker went together, didn't it? It was a great sport to be on TV.
Everyone had a favourite player. Everyone had a player they didn't like.
An ongoing soap opera, which I remember Barry Hearn describing once as
Dallas with balls. It wasn't just a game. We like Joe Johnson. He's a lovely lad. Terrible choice in shoes, I seem to remember.
My trademark, as it were, was fancy shoes.
Yeah, I used to like his shoes, yeah, very smart.
White shoe, no, Joe.
What a tournament to win for your first one.
Joe Johnson totally outplayed me in the 1986 World Championship.
Crowd here in the Crucible are going mad for Bradford's Joe Johnson.
Who on earth would have thought that Joe from Bradford was going to win the World Championship?
I believe I was 152 at the start of the World Championship, and I wish I'd have had a few above on them.
And Joe Johnson defeats Steve Davis, 18 frames to 12.
Joe will look at himself in the mirror for the rest of his life and say, I won the biggest event in my chosen sport.
Giddy with his newfound fame, Joe committed the ultimate folly of even thinking he was quite good at singing.
A couple of times I watched him sing on stage, I was thinking, what's going on here? But it was brilliant.
The singing, well, I was never really a singer, and I was only doing that really as a bit of fun.
Snooker even produced a sex symbol from Bolton, and all because the ladies loved Tony Knowles.
The girls loved Tony. He was over 6 foot tall, you know, dark, good looking.
When a lad comes up to me and he always says, my mum used to fancy you.
And we used to call him the Melter because they just used to go like chocolate bars.
We ended up at the local nightclub there last night.
Until what time?
Till about 2 o'clock, half 2.
He was the playboy in many ways. Tony loved the publicity.
At the time, a lot of people actually said that I looked similar to Shakin' Stevens. It ended up with the Sun actually doing a picture of me on page 7. There was quite a few page 3 girls there as well at the same time. Our association thought that it was actually bringing the game into disrepute at the time, and I did get fined.
If it did bring somebody into disrepute, it wasn't Snooker, it was Tony. And he got £5,000 fine from our association. What a liberty, he should try and get his money back.
While Tony attracted the young ladies, the housewife's choice was definitely Canadian Cliff Thorburn. With his magnum tash, he was the Rhett Butler of the Crucible Theatre. And don't play him for money at pool.